Hey guys, it's Mr. Calderon with Queen My Pawn, and I'm going to show you how to identify and graph parabolas. So I have on my other participants, you can see Mr. Calderon, that's my whiteboard that we'll be using. So I'll go ahead and share the screen there and we can basically get started. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll be basically drawing the entire time on my whiteboard and sharing my screen. So I will share the entire screen and yep. So first, I want to talk about this. Okay, we have y equals x squared. Now, here's what this means. Okay, it means that you take any number, it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, and you square it. So you multiply by itself. Okay, so 1 to the second power. If x was 1, then y would be 1 to the second power, which will give you 1. Okay, and if x is 2, then y equals 2 squared, which is 4. Okay, so we see that the number is, as x increases by 1, y increases more and more. And you can repeat this process and keep going. You can get 9 and so on. So here's what I'm trying to say about this. Every time that you don't know how a graph looks like, the very first thing you need to do is do this table. You need to do the x and y table and plug in the values. You got to do the work. 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 4. I know it by memory because I've done it so many times, but you need to do it the first time, anytime you don't know what a graph looks like, and then you need to identify what it looks like. Right now, we can draw a rough shape of it, and it looks like this. Okay, the curve is touching the x-axis like that. And if you can see this actually, this graph of y equals x squared, kind of looks like a happy face. That's going to be important, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at how x squared can be changed. Suppose that instead of all of this, I'll just go ahead and do a new. Let's say that we had instead this function. Um, so we have y equals x squared plus 5. Well, again, if you don't know what this looks like, you've got to draw that x, y, t table and plug in values. Turns out you're going to get this, okay? You should do this, like pause the video and try to do it yourself for these x values. Negative 1, 0, 1, 2, okay? And actually negative 2 as well at the very top. So pause the video now and see what you get. You should have paused the video and you should have completed the table by now. This is what you're going to get, okay? You're going to get 9 for here. For here, you're going to get 6. And here, you're going to get 5, 6, 9. That's going to look something like this. And you can see that the parabola has shifted up by 5 units. When x is 0, y is 5. So this the vertex, which is like the lowest point, it'll be 0, 5. Okay. Now you can see that I don't draw ticks or little lines on the x and y plane because I need you to understand how the graph's going to look like and where you're going to find it. You don't need to know exactly the numbers. You just need to know where they're located. Okay, like let's say you're taking a test. You know that this parabola belongs on the first quadrant or maybe in between the first and second, like in this case. And then you can narrow down your choices using process of elimination. So let's go ahead and take a look actually first at this. So anytime you see a plus, it's going to go up, okay? Anytime you see a plus outside the x squared. So x squared plus some number a, okay? A could be 10, 20, and that's going to shift the graph up. If you have x squared minus a, it's going to shift it down, obviously. It's going to be the opposite. Suppose that we have this one instead now, okay? So as you can see, we're referencing the original parabola in this little corner of y equals x squared. You're always going to reference this, okay? The graph is going to look something like that. Suppose that instead we have y equals negative x squared. Well, in this situation, it's actually going to go opposite, and it's going to be a sad face right here. Okay, and that's because sad people are negative and happy people are positive. So you're going to see a happy face when you see that x squared is positive. You see a sad face when x squared is negative. That's all I have to say about that. As you can see, I like to have my black screen. All right, so suppose that instead we have this one, x plus or minus 4 squared, x minus 4 squared. And we had to draw it over here. Now notice that the x is on the inside of the parentheses, not like before where it was on the outside, okay? So that's the difference here. Where do you think the parabola could be? So take a minute or two, pause the video, and find out for yourself. Okay, you should have paused the video and try to figure it out. First thing you should do, as usual, is draw a t-table. Okay, you got to do the work. Like there's no way around this. Okay, you don't know what it looks like, you got to do that. And for the normal values, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, this is what you should have gotten. You should have gotten 36. Then you should have gotten 25. Hold on, this isn't right. I'm doing something wrong. -2 minus 4 is -6. Squared is 36. Actually, no, that makes sense. Sorry. And this is 25. And this is 16. And for 1, it's going to be 9. For 2, it's going to be 4. So actually, you can see that the graph is going downward. So it's going to look something like this. Let's see. Okay. And this is, I'm going to draw the tick for accuracy. This is at x equals 4. Okay. And if you kept going, you can see that the numbers are decreasing. That's good. At 3, sometimes you have to do this, but only for the first time, because after you have some experience with it, you can tell, oh, it belongs here and there, as I will show you the shortcut. 3, 1, 4, 0, 5, 1. So now look, at 3, x equals 3, y is, the height is 1. So you can see the height right there is 1. And same for x equals 5, the height is 1 as well. So the parabola got shifted to the right. Now, judging by this negative, some people think it's going to go to the left, but that's actually not true. You actually have to make the inside over here, the inside of the parentheses equals 0. So x minus 4 equals 0. Add 4 to both sides. That cancels out, and x equals 4. So because x is positive, it's going to go to the right, just like we saw. So it got messy, but here are the basic rules. If you have y equals x squared, it's a normal parabola. If you have y equals x squared plus a, it goes up or it goes down. If you have y equals x plus a squared, which is on the inside of the parentheses, it's going to go left or right. It's going to go left if it's positive, and it's going to go right if it's negative, like we just discussed. Okay. And if you have y equals negative x squared, then it's going to go, it's going to flip. Okay. So it'll be either happy, and it was happy at the beginning, but now it's sad. Okay. So this is actually a happy face right here. And over here, doing my best to scroll it up. It's going to be a sad face. Okay. Now, here's the thing. You can actually combine these things. For example, so take a picture of this and use it for the next exercise that we're about to do. Okay, what does the graph of y equals negative parentheses x minus 3 parentheses squared plus 3 look like? Well, I'm gonna write that again on the, now that you've taken a picture of this, I'm gonna erase it. Let's gonna go ahead and do this. Y equals negative x minus 3 squared plus 3. That's exactly the same one. Just to double check, it's the same one. So, is it positive or negative? That's the first thing on the list. It's negative, so we know it's gonna be a sad face. Second thing is gonna be in blue. Second thing is there something outside the parentheses? Yes, it's a plus 3. So it's gonna go up 3 units, okay? So we already have a rough idea of where this is gonna be. It's gonna be up 3 units, okay? This is a y equals 3, 1 up 3, the height's 3. Now the inside, it's green, it says go to the right 3 units. So it'll be x equals 3, and wherever they meet, that's the vertex, okay? And then it's a sad face, so you just draw something like this. And now let's look at the quiz. You know it's going to be on the first quadrant with a sad face. What are the answers? Well, let's see. Which one of these is the first quadrant? The first answer is not the first quadrant. Get it out of here. Second one, it is the first quadrant, but it's a happy face. Get it out of here. Third one, first quadrant, sad face. It could be. The fourth answer, sad face, but it's in the third quadrant. Get it out of here. The correct answer is the third one, which is over here. Okay, so that's the one. Okay, the one right here that I'm showing. So that's how you solve these things. Okay, that's the very basics. I don't have anything more to say about this video. That's a crash course on identifying and graphing parabolas. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you on the next one.